this is my November wrap up. I read a total of 9 books this month. Uh, uh, 4 of those were for Borrow-a-thon, which was a readathon from November 4th to November 11th. And I've already made a video for that, which I'm going to link down below. But just as a recall, these are the books that I read. Sorry, not this one. Yeah, I have a book missing in this. These are the books that I read for the Borrow-a-thon. I read Sula, I read The Raven King, I read Burnt Shadows, and there was another book that I read that I can't remember now. So that makes a total of 10 books actually. I read When in French, of course, that I had to return to the library. So these are the books that I read for the Borrow-a-thon. Now, the books that I started but I did not finish were 2 this month. Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel and Mohammed by Deepak Chopra. And I'm going to talk about them individually. So, Station 11 is a dystopian. An epidemic comes over the world and people die, and 20 years later, what's following is what this book is about. And it's about a group of traveling actors who were actors before the epidemic came, and they're still pursuing their passion for acting. I did not enjoy this book. I read the first 50, 60 pages of this book and I didn't enjoy it. I don't know if it was because I was the phase I was in my life. I was already so down and low and I just didn't want to read this. It just, the problem seemed so far-fetched to me that I could not wrap my head around it. And I kept feeling that I had to reread a lot of passages in order to get involved in, because my mind kept drifting off. So I didn't like it. I know it's a very popular book, but I didn't enjoy it. The second book, which is Mohammed by Deepak Chopra. Now, when I picked up this book, I've read a lot of biographies on Prophet. Uh, I read the one by Karen Armstrong. I read the one by the green one. I forgot the name of that one, but I'll try to find the name and I'll try to put it in the description box below. I've read a lot of biographies on Muhammad, and this was by far the only one that I did not enjoy as much. It was, first of all, it's written like a novel, so there's a lot of back and forth. There are different narrators that have come that were present at the time of the Prophet's life, and they're narrating their interactions with him and what they thought of him. And through that, they're actually narrating his entire life story. Now, obviously, those people are no longer present, and so Deepak Chopra is assuming their position in the Prophet's life, and that's how he's narrating the events. But it just seemed there were so many details missing and so many points where I felt like he's stretching the truth a little, and I wasn't entirely convinced by that. If I would recommend a biography on Muhammad, an easy biography, I would go for Karen Armstrong. I think that was a wonderful biography. Uh, and the other one that I really like, and I can't think of the name, which I'll put down in the description box. And I think that's a very detailed biography. But yeah, I didn't really enjoy this one, so I didn't finish it. Now, the next 5 books that I want to talk about, and I'm going to start with the one that I read the first, which was Wishes by V.E. Schwab. Now, I really want to read this book because I read A Gathering of Shadows and A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, and I absolutely love them. This is 367 pages long. It was released in, I think, 2013. And it's a supernatural adult fiction. And it's about this man called Victor. And he's in jail because of a crime that he committed. And once he comes out, he wants to kill his best friend. and it's very wonderfully written. It's very gripping. It's very fast moving. Um, I didn't get Victor in the beginning, so that's the only thing I'm gonna say about this. I didn't understand, like I wasn't motivated with the whole anti-hero thing. But by the end of it, I got his reasonings. I really understood this book, and I enjoyed it. Like it was a fun read, and I rated it a 4 out of 5 only because it was fun and I just enjoyed it. There's not much to say about this book. Yeah. The next one that I'm going to talk about is yeah, Mary Kubica's Don't You Cry. And after this book, I'm going to start off by saying, after this book, I want to read more books by Mary Kubica. So I'm going to go and get The Good Girl. I absolutely love this book. It's a thriller and it's not very long again. It was released in 2016. It's a mystery thriller and it's 312 pages, an average length of a book. It's narrated by two people, Alex and Quinn. And and yeah, it's narrated by, so one chapter is by Quinn and one chapter is by Alex and one chapter is by Quinn and then one chapter is Alex. It's about a girl Esther, who is Quinn's roommate. And one day when Quinn comes home, she finds that Esther is missing. And that's it. I'm not going to say anything more about this book because I think that's enough. And then obviously we're hearing from Quinn and Alex as to what happened. I absolutely love this book. I love the writing. I love the storyline. I love the characters. It was fantastic. And I don't like mystery and thrillers as much, but I enjoyed it so much. I rated a 5 out of 5. It's just too good. Okay, the next book is gonna be yeah. The next book is gonna be, oh yeah, let me talk about this one first. So this is Miss Daisy by Alfred Uri. This is a play and it's very short. It's like what, 80 pages. This is about this old woman in I believe this is 1920s or something, and she hires an African American to become her chauffeur, and she's not racist, but she's very conventional and old fashioned and well racist as well. I'm gonna put this word in. And what develops is a relationship between these two. They become very good friends and they learn to complement each other and they understand each other, and it's all about that. I'm not gonna say I didn't enjoy it. I did enjoy it. It was okay. Like I went through it and I got over it. I got rated it a 3 out of 5. I really didn't think about it so much. I think it was maybe because it was a play, and if it was a book, I probably would have enjoyed it more. Or if I had seen it performed, then I would have felt differently about it. To me, it was just fine. However, I enjoyed Alfred Uri's note from the author, note from the playwright that comes in the beginning. I enjoyed that more than I enjoyed the play. The next book I'm going to talk about is So Big, I don't know if you can see it, by Edna Ferber. This is a novel that was written in 1924 and it covers the period of 1888 to 1914, I think, till World War One. This is 326 pages. It's a literary novel. I This is about Selena, who is a city girl, and she marries a country man, and he has a farm that's not working out, and it's not doing very well. And she offers him suggestions, but he just doesn't pay attention to it. She has a son through him, and his name is Dirk, and she calls him So Big because whenever she always jokes with him and says, "Oh, what are you? How are you mine?" or something like that. And he says, "I'm so big," and she basically dreams big for him, and that's what it's about. And her husband passes away, and then she builds the farm on her own, and she makes it a success. And she has great dreams, big dreams for her son. She wants him to do everything that she was not able to experience life, grow, and visit all possibilities of life. It's about that. I did not enjoy this book. I felt it was so slow. I had to skip passages because I felt there was a lot of repetition, and I was just not in the mood for it. I was bored out of my mind with this book. I somehow managed to finish it. It's not a bad book. It has a very good message and has very good characters. It's just that I didn't like the writing style. I felt like it was moving too slow. And another thing that I felt was that the characters were constantly put into boxes of good, bad, evil. Um, like Dirk's first girlfriend, she was she's just bad, and you can just tell. And I didn't like the whole idea of just putting people in spots of good and bad and good and bad. I didn't enjoy that. So um yeah, I rated this, I think, a 2 out of 5. The next book, and this is the star of the show, maybe because I just finished it. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Now, this is a 2016 release. It was 367 pages long. It is, well, I'm not gonna. It's a very personal book. It's driven out of real life events, and I would say it's adult fiction. But it's so well written. It's very moving. The story is so much depth and so much to offer. I did feel that at times Colleen Hoover got a bit preachy, but I love the characters. I love that there was no good or bad. There was just gray throughout. It was so difficult to distinguish, and your heart went out with this book. It was written to move you to tears, and it does that. It actually makes you feel and think and ponder, and I think she did a great job with this book. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I rated it a 5 out of 5. So yeah, this was my wrap up for November, and I'm gonna be posting my borrowathon uh, borrowathon video, as well as, yes, I remember the name of the biography of Muhammad. I will write it down below as well. It's by Martin Lings. Martin Lings and Karen Armstrong, I think, are better biographies than Muhammad by Deepak Chopra. Okay, thank you.